Hello and welcome to Guides.Global. My name is John Howell and I'm the editorial director. With me today I have Antonio Manzanares. Antonio is a partner in the law firm Manzanares International based here in Marbella on the south coast of Spain. This little video is about employment law. It's a short introduction to the subject. Antonio, thank you for coming.
Thank you.
You have written our guide to employment law on the Costa del Sol.
Yeah.
A much more extensive guide than this couple of minutes of video.
Yeah.
We obviously encourage viewers to read that. What I'd like to ask you is really just two things. First of all, looking at this from the employer's perspective, what would you say are the most important aspects of employment law here in Spain?
Yeah, the more important thing is that the employer has the obligation to pay the social security for you, okay? And including if you have no contract, no writing contract that you are working for somebody, the employer has the obligation to pay the social security for you. And if they haven't done it, the social security will claim for that if you denounce that person.
So if the employer is not paying Social Security and you tell the Social Security Department, they will bring a claim against the employer.
That is.
And of course, this is a big thing in Spain, isn't it? Because Social Security is very expensive for the employer.
Very expensive.
Yes.
Social Security can be around 40% of the salary.
Yes. So there's a great temptation not to pay.
Yeah.
And of course, there's also a great temptation to say, well, actually, this person is working for me for 20 hours and earning 200 euros,
yeah,
when you're actually working for 40 hours and earning 1,000 euros.
Yeah.
What happens if that occurs in your case?
In that case, if you are not paying the Social Security, if the employer is not paying the Social Security for the full amount that you are working, and then you can inform to the Social Security, and the Social Security will start a procedure to claim that amount, the Social Security payment, to the employer.
So this is very dangerous for the employer because it means all of his employees can effectively blackmail him and cause him huge problems in the future.
Yeah, and the employer can have big fines,
yes,
because doing that.
And employment law in Spain, of course, is, as in every country, very complicated.
It is.
And so you do need advice about it, very good for lawyers. But it's also becoming increasingly enforced, isn't it? The rules are strict and they are enforced now in Spain.
Yeah, the law is very strict. We have a very clear law that is protecting the employees. Okay.
Yes, it's very much focused on employee protection, not employer protection.
That is.
Yes. So if you're thinking of perhaps starting a business and employing people in Spain, you need some advice.
Of course.
And you need it before you take any actions like deciding to employ people.
Yeah.
Yes. And who do they come to for that advice?
It will be a social lawyer.
Yes.
Okay, social lawyer.
Specialist lawyer
dealing with that, who is going to inform you about the Social Security that you must pay, all the obligation that you have with the employees, and all the obligations that you are assuming with them from the beginning. It is important to know that before starting any relation.
And do you have lawyers at Manzanares who do this type of law?
We have one specific department for that.
Okay. Now, turning from the employer to the employee, you've already said that the law is about protecting the employee.
Yeah.
What would you say is the most important thing that someone who is working in Spain needs to know about employment law?
Yeah. It is important to know 2 points, I think, in essential. It is that if you are going to be dismissed, okay, and you are not agree, and it is a dismiss that is happening and you are not agree with that, you have 20 days to claim, okay? If you are not agree with that, after the 20 days, you can do nothing. It is that if you have been dismissed, act in that 20 days very quick, okay?
Yes. And of course, you can't wait till the 19th day because you've got paperwork to prepare. So you really, if you are dismissed and you're unhappy about it, you need to get advice immediately.
Immediately.
Yes.
Because 20 days is the time that you have to react, okay? If the employer, if the company is not paying you and you have 3 months salary that hasn't been paid, in that case, you have 1 year to claim for that amount.
Yes.
It is important that you to know that you have 20 days for a dismiss, and for any salary that hasn't been paid, you have 1 year. You have the right to claim compensation if you have been dismissed, including if you have no writing contract.
Yes.
Okay? It is that, don't think that because working in a bar, in a restaurant, with no contract, you have no rights. Contact with the lawyer, and the law will protect you, including if you have had no contract during the relation.
So even if you're working illegally and you have no written contract with the employer and the employer hasn't been paying Social Security for you, you still have rights.
You have the right to claim a compensation. You have the right to be paid to the Social Security for the time that you have been working for that company. When you have been working for somebody and you have been paid for that, in that terms, you have the same rights that any other person with a contract. You must claim for your rights, of course.
So really, that puts you in quite a strong position, because not only will the employer have to pay you the compensation if he's acted wrongly, he's also going to get into serious trouble with the authorities for employing you illegally in the first place.
That is.
Yes. It must be a good position to negotiate from as a lawyer.
Very good position.
Antonio, thank you very much.
Thank you.
I hope that was useful. It's only a snippet from Antonio's guide to employment law in Spain. If the subject is of interest to you, please do read the guide. If you've enjoyed this video, tell us by liking it and by following us. And if you want to contact Antonio or his team, you can do so through the link that's in the information box. Thank you for watching, and we look forward to seeing you next time. Goodbye.
Thank you.